Good evening. Will you join us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening. Welcome to the Board of Trustees School Town of Speedway meeting of December 10th, 2024. Tonight we'll be operating from an 11-item agenda. The first item is to approve the minutes from our last regular meeting, which was December 4th.
Madam President, I'll move that we approve the minutes from the regular meeting, December 4th.
Second that.
Wonderful. Any discussion on that? Okay. All in favor of approving last meeting's minutes indicate by raising your hand. And that passes 5-0. And we'll take a second to sign those. Try not to go out of order this time. Yeah.
You said it should last.
No, I said try not to go out of order this time. But that is also true. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
The minutes are signed.
Great. The second item on the agenda is to approve transfer of budget appropriations.
Thank you, Madam President. Each year, a matter of routine business to authorize the school corporation treasurer, which is Nancy Johnson, to adjust the budget appropriations as permissible and necessary to close the financial books in the proper manner for 2024. A complete record of these adjustments will be presented to the board in consideration in January. The recommendation is to authorize the treasurer to make budget adjustments as necessary to close the books of 2024 in a timely manner.
It's the board's pleasure.
I'll make a motion that we approve the transfer of budget appropriations by the school corporation treasurer.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion on this? Okay. All in favor of approving that transfer of a budget appropriations as described indicate by raise your hand. And that passes 5-0. The third item is to approve the 2025 salaries and benefits for non-teaching groups of employees.
Thank you again, Madam President. The recommendation is to approve the enclosed schedule of the 2025 salary, wages, and benefits for all non-teaching employees. Again, the enclosed updated copy that you had is the most updated, and the recommendation is to approve that list.
I move that we approve the 2025 salaries and benefits for non-teaching groups of employees.
I'll second.
Discussion on this? Again, all in favor of approving the 2025 salaries and benefits for non-teaching groups of employees as presented indicate by raising your hand. And that passes 5-0. The fourth item brings me much more joy than those previous three. We are super excited to be able to welcome up to the podium Principal of Allison J. Bedwell, who will talk to us about the Distinguished Title I School of the Year, Allison Elementary.
May I approach the podium?
You may.
Thank you for having us. And two of my staff members are here, so I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
I kind of want to give you a little bit of an overview of what Title I is, and then I'll kind of go through with a timeline of how all this happened. So the definition of Title I is a federal program assisting schools with low income student populations, and that aims to improve educational performance increase accountability in education, enhance home-to-school cooperation, and provide educators with shared decision-making and autonomy. So our school, back in 2007 and 2008, we became a targeted assisted Title I school. And what that means is we have to target needy students to receive Title services. And that we did that for 2 years. And then in 2010 to 2011, we became a non-targeted Title I school, a complete Title I school. So our award overview, all title schools were considered in the state of Indiana, and it narrowed down to 10 of those schools in the state of Indiana. There was a committee that visited 10 schools, and we were one of 6 that they decided to visit after they narrowed it down to 10. So what the criteria was, we were recognized for closing the achievement gap consistently for over 2 years. And back in 2016, we won this award. And then notably, we are the only school in the state of Indiana that has won this award twice. A little bit about our demographics. It is challenging. We are a very diverse school. We have a population of 240 students with 20 countries, and we speak at our school 11 languages. We are 74% of students come with low-income households. We are an urban school, surpassed state step testing averages, and we've also a recipient of many multiple awards. Things that we were recognized for, we were innovative practices for our Spark Time, which is a all hands on deck approach for innovation, collaborating data analysis for targeted instruction, social emotional learning, training for trauma-informed practices, school-wide regulation spaces, and PBIS program implementation. Also after-school tutoring, which we use Minds in Motion for brain activation and critical thinking development. And also our leadership and collaboration. We have principal and core leadership teams focused throughout once a week. We have bi-weekly discussions about academic and behavioral strategies. We collaborate with our teaching environment, structured and unstructured collaboration, time for teachers, and implementation of 2x10 strategy for student-teacher connections. Our family and community involvement, we have engaged activities, Meet the Teacher Night, Parent Square, communication and conferences, STEM and multicultural night events promoting family participation, and also our parent-teacher organization. Supportive school environment, PBIS program, promoting respectful, responsible, and safe behavior at school, and implementation of the debug system for conflict resolution among students. One of our ambitious instructions is to focus on the science of reading and writing across grades through K through 6, and rigorous academic standards with data-driven adjustments. One of the other things that I would like to say thank you, and overall of this, is none of this could have been done without my Allison staff. All of their hard work, this includes my parents, my students, and my administration, and our school board. So I just want to say thank you very much for always being supportive of Allison Elementary. So, do you have any questions?
Just congratulations again.
Thanks.
I think it's certainly an incredible achievement. Not to win this award ever is amazing, and to be the first school to ever get it twice is just incredible. That said, I don't think anyone in this room is surprised. I think, you know, we get to sit here once a month and we see all the data that comes in and all the special things that you guys do, and their numbers on a sheet of paper. But it's easy to forget that there are people behind that, right? And there's an amazing staff there and an incredible group of students and parents that are making this really happen. So congratulations to you, to the staff, and to the parents and kids that really made it happen.
Thank you very much.
I think that, I'm not sure if it's true to say most, but at least many other school districts use things like demographic data, like free and reduced lunch data, as an excuse as a justification. And I love how our school district generally, but you guys do just an incredible job of that. I mean, it's just a fact. I mean, it's not, it has to be mentioned. It keys into Title I, but it in no way, defines the school, defines you guys. And it's just amazing. So congratulations.
Well, thank you. One of the things that I think my entire staff, and that's from my custodians to my secretary to everybody, is that we believe that all students should be pushed to the max, that they can do it, and they show us that they do it. So.
Yeah, people live up to expectation, when,
Yes, absolutely.
when you set that bar and have an expectation that this is the norm and this is, of course, what you're going to do, then it's amazing when that, gosh, so we're just super proud.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
Piggyback on what Laura said, with all the reasons why schools can't be successful. I just think it's neat that our elementaries, the high school wouldn't have the success they have if you four principals and your four staffs weren't doing what you were doing with the expectations of pushing kids that you just mentioned. Because it wouldn't, if they if they had to wait till they were freshmen, it wouldn't happen.
Right.
And in this school system, it starts in elementary school about pushing kids to the limits of what they're able to do. So appreciate it once again.
Well, another success story, Michelle Chastain's counterpart that teaches with her, Lindsay Limbach, she shared with me today at lunch. She had 3 students, because we're in the process of taking our NWEA score testing, and she had 3 students that there's a goal at mid-year that they have to reach, and 3 of her barely non-speaking students met that goal, plus between 25 and 30 points past that expectation. So very happy with that. That's
great.
So.
You guys are I cute little anecdote is I watched last spring your challenges for everyone to walk to school. But that's like a piece of it, right? I mean, it's like you got all of these parents having their kids walk to school.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was so fun to watch and to see how people bought into that. And while that has, nothing to do with an in-depth, it does.
Yes.
I mean, there is a piece of a culture that that is harvested right at those elementary schools. So.
Thank you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for taking your time.
Congratulations.
And as always, feel free to not sit through these remaining items.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, so the 5th item on the agenda, really, I mean, we're going to go from kind of, beginning of the whole system to the top of the system. The 5th item on the agenda is to approve the evaluation of the superintendent. And each year, we take, you public might wonder, it's pretty clear, principals evaluate teachers and, how that system works, but, how does it work that our superintendent gets evaluated? And that's something that we do and that we take very seriously each year. We do that in the fall, so that it can be part of, brought forward for approval at this December meeting. And it is that time of year. And so we have spent that time, and it is, the 5th item on the agenda is for us to approve the evaluation of the superintendent so that it is a formal document.
I'll move to approve the evaluation of the superintendent.
And I'll second that.
Okay, do we have discussion on this? Other than thank you.
Thank you for your great work.
I mean, all of what, what we're seeing here and that is, you're at the top of that pyramid. So thank you. Anything else? All in favor of approving the evaluation of the superintendent, indicate by raising your hand. And that passes 5-0. Well, if only we could end the meeting now, because we're going to move on to let's approve some ISBA policies.
Well, thank you, Madam President. And this is, ISBA continues about a month every month with a newsletter, whatnot, new updates through the legislation. They send us, hey, here's some mandates that you need to take care of. So what we talked about years ago, we wanted to clean up our policies. They are posted online now that the public can get to, and what we talked about. And just like tonight, will be up on the ISBA policies on our website. And there's 3 that are very minimal, but we want to get in line with what the ISBA is sending to us. Those are animals in the classroom, employee reference checks, and federal grants and award administration. And enclosed, you have copies of those. We've red penned those rough drafts, and we got them to where they fit what we want to do and what the ISBA and what state law states. So the recommendation is approve those 3 ISBA policies.
What's the board pleasure on this?
I'll make a motion that we approve the 3 ISBA policies as presented and corrected.
And I'll second.
Do we have discussion on these? These will be accessible on the website.
Absolutely.
Via the, whatever link gets you to board policies.
Yep.
Right? Okay. All in favor of approving the 3 policies as presented, indicate by raising your hand. Where's went there? All right, that passes 5-0. The 7th item is to appoint a Board of Finance and schedule a meeting of the Board of Finance.
In the past, the board has appointed itself as current officers as the Board of Finance, and the recommendation is to continue that practice. In addition, the recommendation is to set the Board of Finance meeting for 7:15 on Tuesday, January 14th, 2025. That is correct, January 20, yeah, January 14th.
I move that we appoint the board as the Board of Finance and schedule our meeting for January 14th, 2025.
I'll second.
Okay. Do we need discussion on that? No, good. All in favor of appointing the board as the Board of Finance and scheduling that meeting for January 14th at 7:15, indicate by raising your hand. And that passes 5-0. And that will also be published as all, notification published beforehand as all of our meetings are. The 8th item is to acknowledge grants to the tune of $305,000, $433. Yeah, that's great. We'll take it. And the 9th item is to approve the personnel report.
Personnel report for December 10th has 4 items on it. The first, I'm going to go backwards this time. 2 people that I'd like you to consider for employment are Gregory Harper as custodian. Gregory's worked for us for about 3 or 4 weeks now and proven himself to be a very formidable hire for us. We're glad to have him. Michael McCormick as an assistant wrestling coach is the other recommendation for employment. For resignation, we have Ryan Noblet, assistant football coach, 8th grade, Speedway Junior High School. And just can't say this, Andrea McIntosh is director of programs and grants. It's a little bit, she came on board here, I don't know, 11 years ago. And waters were murky, rough, and not only did she righted the ship, but she calmed the waters. Can't thank you enough for what you've done for us. So my recommendation is to not approve hers.
Well, we are going to have some discussion about that.
My recommendation is that you approve the personnel report as presented. And thank you, Andrea, for all you've done for us.
Don't have words, it's an honor to have served here.
I guess I'll make a motion that we accept the personnel report as presented.
Reluctantly.
Discussion? Do want to make it clear that Andrew's with us through the rest of the year.
Yes.
That is effective at the end of the year. Yeah, we could take, we'll find some other time to do it, but we could take.
But I do want to say this town is blessed by this school board, and we are serving together, and you make that known to everybody. Set the tone for the great work that's done here. The administration, teachers, I am forever changed by my time in Speedway. So I thank you all for your support over the years and know that there are only great things ahead for this place because of all of you and everybody else wonderful here that I work with. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All in favor of approving the personnel report? Indicate raising your hand. And that passes 5-0. The last item is to adjourn and approve claims. So, Merry Christmas, everyone.